Hello, Barmy Badger Army.
Hey, Badger Army.
Welcome to the show. We've found the bench once again, which is always good news. On today's topic, we're going to be talking about, of course, the fabled KSI versus Logan Paul match, and, of course, the brilliant fact that actors, funnily enough, need to have other jobs. Shock horror. Nick is a prime example of this. Right, okay, so let's talk about KSI versus Mr. Logan Paul straight off the bat.
Which we've just had to do loads of hurried research on for you.
For you, noob crafters, I'm looking at you.
And yeah, so it would seem so. Logan Paul does not have a very sporting background.
No,
but KSI does.
Okay, KSI does.
More?
Really? Okay, that's interesting.
Well, he's won the last 2 times.
Well,
so.
KSI did actually start out as mostly a FIFA football gaming YouTuber. Right. So, fight me if I'm wrong. So, of course, that would sort of add to him being a slightly sportier gamer. So I'm guessing he would be able to prepare more. Now, on a side note, obviously, I'm really glad that, obviously, Logan Paul got his butt whipped.
As am I.
As am I, because obviously I'm sure you guys know about the Forest incident and the fact that it led on to YouTube then changing their policies against pretty much every YouTuber and pretty much ruining YouTube for independent YouTubers like me and Nick. And that is not an overestimation. I know that after the incident happened, my viewing figures dropped, the donations dropped, everything dropped, subscriber base dropped, everything dropped because they got tighter on who can see videos and how they see them. And obviously this is now come into force once again with the new regulations that came out the other day with the Child Protection Act, which is good because, to be honest, I stream stuff like Outlast 2, things like that. I would feel bad if a child watched that anyway, so I'm glad of that. What I'm not glad of is the fact that he did that incident in the forest and it changed YouTube for the worst. But anyway, that's going off topic. Let's talk more about the fight, Nick. So go ahead, see what you think about it. What are your thoughts on the fight?
Well, the impression I'm getting is that KSI won mainly. It was mainly on technicalities rather than through knockouts or anything like that. And the first match took place in August,
right? Okay.
Where it was very, very tight. But one of the judges ruled in KSI's favour.
Okay, yeah.
On scoring. And the second one took place on Saturday just gone, was it?
That's right, yes.
And
but obviously the card was starting like midnight Friday night pretty much.
Yeah, and I think it involved their respective brothers as well.
Okay, that's interesting.
And the interesting thing is Logan Paul, who didn't win, has complained that the thing was rigged, which he then doubled down on, and oh my goodness! And you're just like this. Why does this guy is basically he's doing nothing good for YouTubers? No, you know he's.
So why they didn't ban him, I don't know, because he's literally spoiled YouTube for everyone. In my opinion,
I think to be honest with you, he's just trying far too hard to still remain relevant and get attention and things like that. You know, I think at one point he apparently he went on at one stage to say he was a flat earther. So you know, what more does that tell you, dear viewers?
Yes,
you know,
it's like
what? Yeah, I just look at the whole thing as, you know, just more of him throwing his toys out the pram, and yeah.
I'm glad he got his ass kicked.
Yes. So,
but then there you go, because obviously I have very, very intense feelings on him, and I do feel that he's changed YouTube for the worst, and I don't really understand why they've kept him around. He's almost like PewDiePie on steroids, without feelings. So it's, you know, it's like, why are they keeping him around? I don't really understand. I mean, what annoys me more is that he started off as like almost like a teenager YouTuber, so he would appeal to younger children and of course young teenagers, and then of course look what he's done, and he absolutely scared loads and loads of people and shock tactics and things like that. You know, it's actually quite upsetting for me as someone like does try to be a good influencer, and as well Nick as well, we try to use our thoughts and our feelings for good, and then there's people out there that you know, bastardize, oh dear, I said a naughty word, but it's true, he does that and he takes sort of like this responsibility that he has and perverts it and causes trouble with it. And I'm really not a fan.
Yeah. Yeah, so whatever you do, if any links to any of his videos are next to this one, don't click them.
Don't click them. Just click on more of ours.
Yes.
But yeah, so it does sound like a plan. But yeah, I'm really not impressed with the way he's behaved, and I'm really, really glad that he got his arse kicked. So good on KSI. I mean, I haven't followed KSI's stuff for a good few years since he was like, but once he's blown up, I haven't really had a chance to catch up on a lot of his stuff. But I remember liking him in the beginning and things like that, and I'm hoping that he hasn't changed much as a person, because he seemed like quite a likeable chap. But of course, we can talk about that in the comments below, and you can tell me your thoughts and feelings. It's very interesting on these sorts of topics, and please do, if you don't of course agree with us about Jake and Logan Paul, let us know in the comments, and we'll sort of bounce off a bit and have a good old chat. And I love discussions and things like that, so it's very interesting. So what I want to know, guys, is your real thoughts on it. Do you think KSI should have won, or do you think that Paul should have won? I'd be interested to know what you think. And now we're going to switch topics, because we're only going to be able to do a shortish one today. We're going to talk about actors doing part-time jobs. And Nick's done the research on this, and he told me a little bit about it, and I was shocked, but not in the way you'd think.
Now, you might recall it was in the news a couple of weeks ago, and it was brought up on one of the big acting podcasts as well recently, Act on This. Kate Jarvis, who was acting in EastEnders, was axed from the show earlier in the year, currently works as a security guard at B&M.
Okay.
And the Daily Star thought that was worthy first front page news. Shock horror, actors do other things during day jobs. We do other work in between our YouTube videos.
Exactly, most definitely. You know? I wish I didn't have to, but
well,
we do.
You know, people do. You know, I mean, this is how we know each other. You
exactly.
know,
yes.
From our other work together. You
exactly.
know? And ultimately, this you know, it's this that you know, only about 5% of actors, you know, do it are you know, acting most of the time.
That's right. I mean,
you know, it's
if you try and follow Nick's schedule, it's like a myriad and a maze. Honestly, trying to figure out where he is on a daily basis and when we can squeeze these things in is insane, because the man is always either out or resting or at the gym. It's or at work with me. So it's really tough to try and squeeze everything in. And he is so busy trying to do the acting life, obviously a normal day job life, 9 to 5, and try and rest, and trying to keep fitness up, and trying to keep his mental health up as well, and all these different things, and obviously having a social life as well. These things are tough. People need to realise that even though you've been in like a famous soap on BBC One, that doesn't guarantee you paid work the next time. And what's she gonna do? Starve?
no.
So she's going to take a job at B&M to try and make money for her family. I don't know much about her personal situation, but I'm sure she wants to keep a roof over her head, keep her family happy, etc, etc. So you have to do other jobs on top. Like with me, I do the artwork, I do the thumbnail work, I do all these different things to try and raise money for the channel and the Boss and Badger Jr. and all these different things that we try and do to make money. Obviously Nick does the paid acting work and things like that to raise money for himself and his family. Everyone has to do other things on top of what they're doing. Otherwise, you're just going to be procrastinating.
Exactly. You know, so and there has been justifiably a backlash against the Star and other newspapers, because other newspapers reported it as well.
Really?
That they're reporting that yes, ex-EastEnders actor works as a security guard in B&M. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Well, no, you know, that's just work in between jobs.
Exactly.
You know?
She's probably really tried to get an acting job. She's probably really tried, and she's had to humble herself by going down to doing other jobs. It's not hard, trust me. You have to think logically on this one. You have to think, do I want to eat, or do I stay as a penniless actor?
Exactly. You know, you will find that they're doing lots of other things, and ultimately, it's between what we always talk about, kind of like, oh, how the mighty have fallen. You know, we used to have, there was this joke about, someone you hadn't heard from for a while. You know, that most of the time they spend their time saying, "Would you like fries with that?" There was this perception. Yeah, there was this perception that that fast food restaurants had no quality control over who they hired. That's not true.
It is not true. There's a MOOC degree now. And
indeed, there is. It is simply a matter of doing other stuff,
Exactly.
And this is perhaps the wake-up call that the newspapers and a lot of other people need to realise.
You know what the newspaper could have done? They could have paid her for the story. Instead of going, ha, you work in B&M now, nah. They could have gone, look, we're sorry about the situation you're in. You obviously need help. If we publish the story, here's £200.
There you go.
They should have done that. Rather than doing that, they should have talked to her about it. They should have done a proper interview. They should have done all these different things to try and help the actor or actress make money, not take the mickey out of her.
And they'll find that they'll learn a lot more about the world than they ever would sitting in their offices.
Mm-hmm. Can you imagine if you did an exclusive, oh yeah, things like that have happened, I've needed to do X, Y and Z. If they did some proper research, paid the actress money, they might have actually, had a better substantial story over the whole situation.
Exactly. So hopefully, just maybe, some lessons to be learned from this, and yes, support your local actor.
Exactly, and this is why, obviously, guys, if you know independent YouTubers that haven't got that many subscribers, trying to get to 2K. If you know lots of different people who need lots of help and they're trying to run small businesses, please do help them. Please like and share their stuff, because it doesn't cost you a penny to like and share and tell your friend to help them as well. You know what I mean? It doesn't cost anything to help these small guys and look after them. Indeed. Right, I think that's me on my soapbox, and I'll get off now. Anything else you'd like to add about today's show, Nick?
I think that's pretty much all been said. But as we say, we always have lots of different stuff coming up. So as has been documented in my travel videos, another one coming soon. And yes, so do stay tuned. There's more coming.
Indeed. So thank you very much for watching.
Do support your local YouTubers. Support your local people in the industry, because a little bit of encouragement goes a long way.
Indeed it does. So thank you for everyone that's been supporting the show. You're most kind, and indeed I hope you guys enjoyed today's show, and please comment, and we'll have a good old chat about today's discussion. Bye!
And don't forget to like, share and subscribe.
Oh yeah, baby. See you later on, guys. Bye.